And welcome back to more Hat in Time. Last time we stopped the Conductor and put an end to his plans to change history and give himself another award. That's really petty, actually, if you think about it. So, we have to go back to Act 1 for this time rift. It's at the beginning. You'll notice this is actually a recurring pattern. How many pawns do we have? Wow. We have a lot of pawns, so let's see what the badge salesman has. He actually has the thing I need. The Fast Hatter badge is one of the best badges in the entire game because it cuts your cooldown time by a lot. This move sucks. It sounds cool, but it's actually kind of terrible. I never used it. Did I show the sunglasses on the first run? I don't think I showed the sunglasses, so let's do this really quickly. Oops. Destruction of property, but we got a lot of sunglasses, so that's nice. So where is the purple time rift? It's fortunately pretty early on, and that will be the nice thing you'll notice about a lot of purple time rifts is they're early on in the levels. I feel like a lot of his voice clips right here overlap and is kind of jarring on the ears. It's just past here, I'm pretty sure. If I unlocked it. I did. Cool. I was right, I didn't unlock it because I know I didn't unlock the one for Alpine Skyline yet. Because we don't have to worry about that for like 5 more videos. But I was a little worried I forgot to unlock this one. And then I'd have to restart the video. Okay, so you know the drill from Subcon Forest. We got storybook pages and rift pawns as our main collectible. The exit pipe will indicate how many rift pawns we need. Rift pawns carry over between sections, and this is my bane. And not because it's hard, it's actually not that bad. In terms of sheer platforming, it's probably easier than Subcon. But in terms of finding the storybook pages, this is not a fun time for me. I always forget where one is, and I don't know how. And the numerous times I've played this game, I always forget where one is. And it's in the next room, but I don't remember where in the next room. So we have an extra rift pawn, so that's nice. So you should enter this with 3, by the way. Should make a note of that. And, it's on the lower level, there it is. That one I always miss, and it's really obvious, so I don't actually know how I miss it. By the way, I never really pointed out the fact that this outfit is based on Toon Link from The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. I like this costume because I am extremely biased whenever the subject of The Wind Waker comes up. It is why... Ooh. It's hard to say, actually. I have this thing where I try to separate nostalgia from objective opinions, and that's hard with The Wind Waker because The Wind Waker was my first Zelda ever. Yes, I got into it really late. I got into it on the GameCube because... Oh, it unequipped the hook shot. I got into the series with the GameCube because Melee, no joke, and I have actually played every Zelda except Triforce Heroes, unless you're counting the CDI games, but no one counts those, let's be real. And also Tingle's Rosy Ruby Land I have not played, but I also don't count that. But I have even played Link's Crossbow Training, if you want to put this into perspective. Didn't finish it. It was only like $1 though, so I didn't feel too bad about not finishing it. This is also the other comic page I always miss, or storybook page, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, I have a ton of nostalgia for The Wind Waker, but like, I kind of almost want to say Majora's Mask is my favorite, because I recently replayed Majora's Mask and I really enjoyed it, and honestly, that might be something you see shortly. I haven't actually decided what order I want to play everything in, but Majora's Mask is a very, very likely option for a future Let's Play in the future. It would be the N64 version, because I don't have a 3DS capture card, and why did all the platforms like despawn for a split second? But again, I always like to do these last from a storytelling standpoint. From a gameplay standpoint, I could care less what order I do all the missions in, but for a Let's Play where I'm trying to portray things in sort of an ordered fashion, which is not something I do very easily, mind you. Thematically, it makes sense to do the Purple Rift dead last, because this borrows level aesthetics and design set pieces from the main chapters, including Act 6. So that's why we're doing this absolutely last. Because we got the floor panels, the tight ropes, switches. Those are the floor panels. What am I talking about? The big warehouse section. It's all very much based on Act 6 more than Act 1, even though you find it in Act 1. So, and also I really like Breath of the Wild, and you know, a lot of people argue it's not a Zelda game. I don't get that at all, because I perfectly think it's a Zelda game. I think it's a really solid Zelda game. It's just very, very different, but like, it's kind of nice because it's like, even when you jump from 2D to 3D, it's all basically the same thing. Like, if you actually think about it, A Link to the Past is basically, or actually, I should go the other way. Ocarina of Time is basically just 3D A Link to the Past. And Twilight Princess is like a more modern Ocarina of Time, so it's like a remake of a remake, or a revision of a revision, actually. Would probably be a better term. But look, we have finished Chapter 2 for real. So we have our little comic to look at, detailing the feud between the Conductor and DJ Grooves and their big dreams. So they apparently were neighbors, it looks like. They both like movies together, it seems like, but they both aspire to win awards. I don't know, it's hard to tell, because the split in this picture and also this one, it kind of makes it seem like they didn't know each other beforehand. So I'm a little bit torn on whether to think they knew each other or not. Both wanted the #1, and both ended up actually renting out the exact same studio. So starting an eternal rivalry where they split the studio in half and compete. I really do like all the backstories for everyone. They really want us to have this remix of Mafia Town. I don't want that though. I don't want this mask either, to be fair. So now what we're gonna do is something a little bit weird. We're gonna kind of break sequence a little bit. Just to... that's a weird looking mask. I still like the little fox mask better. So we're actually gonna jump ahead to... Ooh, how many do I have? Wow, I have way more than I need for this. So we're gonna go in here, just for the sake of not forgetting for the future, and setting up this little pedestal. There we go. So that's all Purple Time Rifts unlocked. What does it say? Tricolor graffiti kit. These are made for vandalism, definitely. Even I feel compelled to take these and draw on everything. I can only conclude that this vandalism toolkit must be illegal. That makes this relic extra rare. If only the package hadn't been opened, only a monster would open the package of a rare item. Lol. How do I back out? Okay, cool. So, that is it for relics. We are done with the relics. We'll still try to get rift tokens when applicable. But for the most part, we're just gonna focus on the timepieces. This chapter is unique for a couple reasons. Like, there were a lot of things that were cut in this game, a lot of beta elements. This is actually a rare example of a chapter where the entire thing got retooled entirely. It was originally a desert chapter and they replaced it with a sky chapter. My guess would be because they already had a western setting and it would just be a little bit redundant. But the song is really good and it makes me sad that we only hear it during this part, and unfortunately I'm talking over it. But it's just so ominous and cool. And also this section of Alpine Skyline is only visited on the first trip, so appreciate this while you can, because unfortunately we never come back here. It's very ominous. I thought this level was going in a completely different direction based on just this opening part, because it was so like creepy. So we have to ring the bell to progress. You know, sometimes I stop and think about the fact that I can never hear this phrase ring a bell without thinking of Tales of Vesperia. And that let's play was like half a year ago. Not when it ended, actually. That was only a couple months ago, actually. December, I think. But like, I always think of that when I say the phrase like ring a bell. And I feel like I bring this up every time this phrase comes up in the Let's Play. Let's actually mix it up. We've been Link for a while. So we have these little posts that we can spin down. Yeah, again, I thought this level would be a lot creepier the first time I played it, because it just gives you a vibe like, ooh, this place is gonna be scary. But it really isn't, actually. We got our spookiness out of the way with Queen Vanessa. So we're leaving the dark clouds and heading to bluer skies. Maybe. Actually, this is not bluer skies. This looks more ominous. Or not. And welcome to the level proper. So, again, we never do that intro section again. I'd actually like to know the thought process behind this, the level design, how they decided to make a little intro section to a bigger level. By the way, the glowing things you see in the bird cage and the fire mountain, those are timepieces, so those are definite stops. And here we are. So we're not gonna do much here. We're coming here just to basically get a collectible and leave. And here it is. The time stop yarn. So, this requires 24, so man, scraping by here. There we go. The time stop hat, the last hat in the game. That's like totally optional. You don't need it for anything except one optional thing. We're not gonna really do that because why would we skip something in a 100% playthrough? Let's be real. I'm too OCD for that. Badge sellers right here near the entrance. Yeah, scooter is expensive. So again, that's why Snatcher gives you a rental during the mail delivery, just in case. It's actually a really nice thing they give you a rental instead of like making you have the scooter badge. There's one game that makes you have something, and I think it's Sly. So, not talking about Sly Cooper right now, as much as I'd like to be fair. Let's go over this briefly. I'm not gonna actually get anything here, but just a quick overview. So, we have a little bit of a branching path. So we have the old windmill over there. So that is where one timepiece is. Another timepiece is followed by this path, which is not unlocked yet, which is to the lava place over there. Over here? What do you have to say? Okay, so like he says, we have to use like horns to open up new pathways. Some places are totally optional, but do contain like rift tokens, extra yarn, cool stuff. So definitely look around if you so desire. There's the bird cage. That is our third destination. And over there is the Twilight Bell. Hilariously, I only remember 3 of the 4. I don't actually remember the name of the fire level. I want to say it's like the lava cake or something, but I legitimately don't remember. This is such a good soundtrack. Like, legit, this is such a good soundtrack. The entire thing. Like, the only song I'm not super crazy about, I'd say, would be, probably like the Big Parade and Picture Perfect, which I just kind of forget mostly. All the other songs are like memorable and actually really solid. So this is an example of the horns that we need to find. So this will open up pathways to the 4 main branching islands. So blue to the windmill, yellow to the bird cage, purple, I don't remember what that goes to, if you want me to be honest. Green goes to there, the Twilight Bell, and red goes to the lava place. I think the purple one is just side stuff. And they give you a little prompt to say you cleared it out. In terms of like the main objective. It doesn't say yarn, which kinda sucks. So this area is one of those that's actually really cool, but also I kinda wish the whole game could have been like this, not gonna lie. Because I like open worlds. Again, I was just talking about Zelda and Breath of the Wild being, you know, very different, but still I am totally down for that. So yeah, I kind of have mixed feelings about, I think chapter 2 mainly because it's so linear. The other chapters are more open, so it stands out as being kind of linear. But this is the most open, because you can literally do any of the 4 in whatever order you want. I usually start with the old windmill because I find it to actually be the hardest. So I like to get out of the way quickly. The fire one, the lava cake, is actually the easiest. I think that's the name of it. I don't remember. Yeah, I'd say windmill's the hardest, followed by the bird cage, because like, I'll always get lost in that one. And then Twilight Bell, and then the lava place, because the lava place is very linear, so it's impossible to get lost. But yeah, that's just a quick overview of Alpine Skyline. Unfortunately, we're not starting it yet. We are going to be heading back to Mafia Town next time to actually finish up there. So thank you for watching, and I hope you join me next time for more A Hat in Time.